On 8 News Now, names of the suspect and the victim from yesterday's deadly shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. Plus, we're just one day away from a vote that will decide if the Raiders come to town. And new video of suspects that broke into a high-end retail store at the Bellagio.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Special Edition.
Just part of the drama that unfolded on the Strip Saturday afternoon. Today, we know who Metro Police holds responsible for the standoff and the man shot and killed beforehand. Good evening, I'm John Langler. It all happened just before 11 yesterday morning near the Cosmopolitan. 2 victims were taken to UMC. One died, the other is recovering. 8 News Now reporter Brittany Edney joins us live from the Strip with the latest.
57-year-old Gary Breitling was visiting Las Vegas from Sydney, Montana yesterday when he was shot and killed here on the Strip. Today, we're learning more about Gary's life. Family friends describe him as a caring family man who was a hard worker and just enjoyed life. He loved to take trips here to Vegas with his wife, Barb, who works at a hospital in their town. Police have said that Breitling and another man were shot for no apparent reason. The Las Vegas man arrested for the fatal shooting, who barricaded himself inside a double-decker bus for hours yesterday before finally surrendering himself to police, is 55-year-old Rolando Cardenas. He faces 4 charges of open murder, attempted murder, burglary, and also discharging a gun within a vehicle. He's currently being held at Clark County Detention Center. A GoFundMe page has been set up in support of the victim's family, and if you'd like to help out in any way, you can find a link to that GoFundMe page on our website. Just head over to lasvegasnow.com. Reporting live, Brittany Edney, 8 News Now.
Brittany, thank you. Police believe Cardenas was mentally disturbed and may have been having an episode before the shooting. 8 News Now's Mauricio Marin looks into how local police are trained to deal with the mentally ill.
A tense situation on the Las Vegas Strip this weekend.
We got reports of shots fired on one of the RTC buses. Our officers immediately responded.
At first, police didn't know what to expect, but soon realized they were dealing with a potentially mentally disturbed suspect.
He's got some mental issues. We found that very evident when we talked to him.
A majority of Metro Police officers are trained to be a part of the crisis intervention team, looking for signs of mental illness, which they believe played a role in the deadly shooting and standoff, forcing a part of the Las Vegas Strip to shut down for several hours Saturday.
From listening to the negotiations, he seemed to be talking about seeing people and things like that. He definitely was not completely with it.
Witnesses say they knew police weren't taking any chances as they worked to clear the area where the suspect was barricaded inside a double-decker bus.
The officers were on edge, you could tell that, with their weapons drawn and kind of forcefully asking questions. You could tell they were being very serious.
Metro Police say training kicked in dealing with an unstable person. They didn't fire back when the suspect shot during the barricade and eventually worked to talk him out peacefully.
Our negotiators just started talking to him calmly. You know, is a lot of times when you stabilize these and you have time on your hands, you have the ability to talk to them, and sometimes, in most instances, you know, we're able to talk them out peacefully. In this instance, we were.
Mauricio Marin, 8 News Now.
Police say the suspect did not know the 2 victims they say he shot. Now, time to check in with weather. Katie Bower is here with a look at some warm conditions, but there's a cool down on the way.
Yeah, you know, John, I mean, kind of roller coaster temperatures that we're looking at here over the course of the next couple of days. First comes the warm up, then comes the big drop in temperatures. That's one thing we're expecting through our extended forecast. Certainly, it's been a nice, pleasant, and I'd say very tranquil day today. We've had a lot of blue sky. We have had a few clouds as well. It's dependent on where you are. One thing I am watching is just a few changes, though, in the form of some rain chances, small rain chances at that. that, but at least something we're watching here in the next 24 to 48 hours. How about your weather alerts? We're watching a wind advisory for a good chunk of the area. What we're picking up, though, here on our boxes is that high wind warning that's going to be out around the Barstow area. That's where we could see gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Again, that's just off towards the southwest. For the rest of us here in Clark, Lincoln County, we are watching that wind advisory at least starting tomorrow through our early Tuesday morning. So winds will certainly be picking up. What about conditions right now? Winds not too bad, a little bit breezy coming out of the east at 13 miles an hour. 75 degrees is warmer than what we hit yesterday in the low 70s. We had a below average day yesterday. Today, not quite so cool in terms of where we should be, but I am tracking that warm up here as the week goes on. Look for that here come Thursday, even as early here as Wednesday as well. Tonight, looking into the evening hours, about 9 o'clock, 69 degrees, 65 by 11 o'clock. We will talk more about those rain chances and more on that increase before a dramatic fall in temperatures here, John, coming up in just a couple minutes.
There is no freaking reason why the Raiders should even be allowed to go to Las Vegas.
People in Oakland are making a last-minute pitch to keep their beloved Raiders. This days before a vote is expected to determine whether or not the franchise will soon call Las Vegas home. That vote takes place in Phoenix, Arizona at the annual NFL owners meeting. And that's where we find sports anchor Chris Matthews with the latest.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, we're down here in Phoenix, Arizona. And how ironic is this? Many, many years ago, it was when the Arizona Cardinals were moving from St. Louis to Arizona. The NFL owners meetings to approve that relocation from St. Louis to Phoenix was handled right here and done right here in Phoenix. So that's kind of ironic. Hey, anyway, we're at the beautiful Biltmore, Arizona. Just a gorgeous place. Absolutely crawling with media. 300 have been credentialed for this event. I asked the folks, hey, is that more than you've ever had? They said it certainly is. And they don't know whether or not it has to do with the Raiders, but we're kind of guessing it might have something to do with it. Ran into a few owners. Nobody wants to go on camera yet today, but we did talk to Jerry Jones. He says he's more confident today in a yes vote than he was 6 days ago. He feels very confident. Also asked about the gaming issue. Said it's no longer an issue whatsoever with any of the owners. And I also asked him about the stadium. If and when it's built, will he be involved in bringing some events there? And he says he certainly will be with his Legends group that also works with the Yankees and the Cowboys. He will bring non-football events to that stadium. Then we ran into Bob McNair. He is the owner of the Texans, and I asked him about the Vegas vote, and he says he feels real confident. I said, is it going to be on a Monday? He says, well, it's not the first thing on the agenda, but he does plan on something happening Monday. And then just moments ago, I ran into Raiders president Mark Bedane. He says it is on Monday's schedule, and it is between 10 and 11:30. So that's what they're saying here from Phoenix. We'll certainly have more for you at 6:50, but a lot of people walking around. We've seen Tom Coughlin. We've seen Pete Carroll walking around here. A lot of coaches mingling around. Of course, all the owners are here. We'll have much, much more from beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Reporting live, Chris Matthews, 8 Sports Now.
Bumping into those movers and shakers. Thanks, Chris. Well, police are still searching for 2 suspects in a burglary at the Bellagio. Coming up on the Valley's News Leader, a look at the new footage of them getting away. Plus, a flood warning in northern Nevada as the Valley here expects strong winds in the next 24 hours. It's next on 8 News Now.
GGRM. Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Special Edition.
New this afternoon, video here of those well-dressed burglars that broke into a jewelry store at the Bellagio. You can see them there running from a high-end retailer wearing pig masks. Police say they broke into jewelry cases with sledgehammers. There they are running off. One man was arrested that night, but the others are on the loose. The jewelry store is still closed. In Cincinnati, police are investigating a nightclub shooting that killed 1 person and injured more than a dozen others. Investigators say it happened after an argument spilled over into the club early Sunday morning. Extra security was already there before the shooting. No one's been arrested, but police believe there are at least 2 suspects. Back here in Nevada, a flood warning up north. The Marys River rose above its flood stage, and forecasters expect minor flooding for the next couple of days. The threat for flooding may not be the case here, but we do have some small rain chances on our way. And Katie Bower is jogging over to the Weather Center to tell us more about the possibility of a little bit of rain, the possibility of a cool down, the possibility of some light sprinkles.
You just summarized it very well in about 10 seconds.
All right, well, then I guess we're all
Yeah,
done.
I guess we can all go home now.
Right.
No, just kidding. Of course, talking about that warm-up that we're expecting here, heading in towards at least the next couple of days. Wednesday, Thursday are the days that we're looking at here. Otherwise, it follows a cool down here as we look towards our next upcoming Friday. Hey, guys, are we able to switch the prompter? Thanks. Looking at weather alerts, we are watching this wind advisory Monday at 11 a.m. That's going to kickstart the work week, carry all the way through our Tuesday at 11 o'clock. This is where we could see those gusts up to about 40 miles an hour. So today, yes, we've seen just a little bit of a breeze. Hasn't been too bad. Those winds will kick up, though, as we start to watch a couple of different systems make its way here in towards the southern Nevada area. Now, while we're looking at that wind advisory, stronger winds are expected for our neighbors up towards the southeast southern California, looking at a high wind warning. So if you're making the trek between Las Vegas and Barstow, watch for that. Those wind gusts potentially as high as 60 miles an hour. So they will be stronger for our neighbors just off towards the southeast. It is a beautiful day in Southern California. Speaking of which, look at that. Looks like a couple kites out there. Huntington Beach, like me, not bad. We do have just a few clouds out there. Otherwise, it's been that mix of partly sunny to partly cloudy skies here today locally across the valley. Something we'll likely continue to see, but also factoring in a small rain chance here as we head in towards the first half of the work week. We're talking about Monday, and right now, certainly no rain chance for us. It's been very pleasant, and like we mentioned earlier, pretty tranquil today. Those temperatures, nice, mild, and right around average, 75 degrees here in Las Vegas. Yesterday, had a hard time climbing, missed that average mark, 73 for our friends out around Henderson. North Las Vegas, you guys, just a little cooler at about 72 degrees. Again, most of us looking at calmer winds today. That will change here in the next 24 hours. We're tightening that pressure gradient. We're going to see those increasing winds, especially heading in towards your early morning hours here tomorrow. Probably not so much for your morning commute, but I'd say expect those winds to pick up as you head home here tomorrow evening. So today we hit the high at 75. Normal temperatures are about 73. Yesterday only climbed to about 71. So we are on that general increase here heading in towards the next couple of days. We'll see temperatures actually climb to the upper 70s, although I have lowered temps just a tad. Not likely to see about 80 degrees like we were originally thinking a couple of days ago. So we have lowered heights in terms of high temperatures, the kickstart the work week, but we're also watching some changes with a couple of different disturbances tracking through our area. The first impact for us is just a few additional clouds. I think most of us around the valley will stay dry, but we are watching at least some slight rain chances here come tomorrow. That rain chance is primarily going to be for Mojave as well as for Lincoln County, but we'll still call it about a 20% chance for us, about a 30% chance you could see some isolated snow showers out around Mount Charleston. Not bad looking 7-day forecast, but we are factoring in that rain chance here tomorrow. And John, look at this as we head towards the next couple of days. We go from almost 80 Thursday to 56 degrees by Saturday, then 81, just like that. We rebound real quickly from Saturday into Sunday.
Chilly stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Katie. Lawmakers are working diligently to make higher education a top priority during this legislative session. One bill aims to encourage more students to get into college for free.
He's 17 years old. He's graduating in June.
In a few months, Garrett Williams enters the real world. The question for his mother is how.
Most ways he's a typical 17-year-old boy, but he's also on the spectrum.
Just because he's autistic doesn't mean college is unattainable. It's a driving motivation.
I'm still trying to figure out my college major, but I figured it out. I'll start applying.
But most people, it's 75%.
Ideally, Garrett will end up on a campus like this.
This is the Club Rush.
College of Southern Nevada.
We have a rock wall over here, some sumo suits, free food, of course.
Jill Robinson is student body president, familiar with the challenge of finding a path to higher education after high school.
We have people in our community that just don't think it's even available to them because they hear price, they don't even see the number. They just hear price and they think it's just not available.
A new bill in Carson City hopes to change that. Senate Bill 391 would make community college free for Nevada students. It's an effort led by Democratic Senator Mo Dennis, who says the state needs more highly educated workers. He says this is an investment, one that could cost $5 million over 2 years.
We'd be fixing a broken gap between CCSD and here.
To qualify, students have to be recent high school grads, keep up their GPA, and take a certain amount of classes.
For your college at least.
It's a threshold Williams knows he can meet.
Like if you want to get a good job, like you need to like head to a college, basically. It's not fair, just like head straight into a job.
And his mother hopes to afford.
I hope he'll be able to do what he wants. I hope he'll have what he wants out of life.
This bill is modeled after similar promised scholarships in other states, and though it's mostly led by Democrats, Republican senators say they're getting on board as well. Tomorrow is the last day for Nevada lawmakers to get out proposals for this legislative session. This week, they turned their attention to several different measures, including whether to remove taxes on feminine hygiene products. Lawmakers will also look into ways that would mandate or help businesses afford to give workers paid leave from work. Last week, about 200 new bills were introduced. The total tally now is nearly 900. To Washington, D.C., and although President Trump told Congress to move on from repealing Obamacare, talks actually haven't stopped. Nevada's congressional delegation is united in its opposition of the Republican plan. Nevada Senator Dean Heller told us in an exclusive interview he would not vote for the bill in its current form.
The cost curve for healthcare continues to go up, and if it's not bending downward, there's no reason for this kind of reform until it does that.
You can catch the full interview tonight on Politics Now. That airs at 5:30. It's something out of a Western film. A cow chasing an officer. Yes, there it is. We'll tell you how it all went down coming up.
Manan Road.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Special Edition.
Coming up tonight at 6:30, an apartment complex plagued by fires brings the community together to help those victims. Tonight we hear from one of the affected families. Plus, more cone zones popping up around the valley. We tell you the areas you might want to avoid tomorrow morning. Join us for those stories tonight at 6:30. And speaking of traffic, this. Dateline, Temple, Texas. The call, oh, there it is, cow on the loose. Dashcam video caught the entire experience. The drive around, the cunning plan to try and pin the cow against a fence, the cow's revenge, and the lunge at the officer. Right there you go. Ah, there he goes. No one was hurt. That fence was replaced, I'm sure, at Home Depot or something. But that cow is still on the run, destined never to become dinner ever.
I guess not. It's like the red flag for the bowls, you know, but he just a metal fence. That works great.
Bring those to Spain. Who needs the bowls?
Who needs the flag?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after Politics Now.
Crystal Eller learned